Hey, I'm just editing my vlog. Come watch it.
Whether you're here because I convinced you to watch or you're interested in the program I'm studying and you want to know more about it, either way, I'm thrilled to have you on here. Today, I'm excited to peel back the curtain of my placement journey, from making the tough decision of where to dive into the professional world as to the nitty-gritty of what it was like working alongside an experienced team, all the way through those challenges and triumphs that shaped my own experience. We've got a lot to cover in the next 10 minutes, so buckle up as I take you through the 4 key chapters of my placement story. Well, let's dive into it. Chapter 1. I will start by the beginnings of all. As part of my MPA program at the Institute of Innovation and Public Purpose, I had the opportunity to choose between doing a placement or writing a thesis. And guess which one I did? Yes, I did a placement, obviously. And I did it at the one and only one, OECD. Now, you may think, how did I end up in that specific organization? And let me be clear that that was a big roller coaster of decisions. It might sound very easy, but it is not. At the end of the second semester, I was given a list of placements that I could choose from, and everyone in the program had to rate them from 1 to 10 according to what they desire more, where 1 was your more desired placement and 10 your least desired placement. That doesn't sound hard at all, right? But now, imagine when you have a list of 25 placements, organizations, and each organization or some of the organizations have at least 5 projects that you can choose from. And on top of all of them appear to be so nice and so appealing to you, and you want to do all of them because you want to get all the experience. That's the time when it starts to get a bit complicated. I started by crossing out the options I didn't feel comfortable doing. I tried to discard as much as I could so it would be easier for me, but even that, I think I ended up leaving about 12 placements, so I still had to get rid of 2 more. And that was when I decided that I could create a table where I could write the names of the organizations without any preference, just randomized, and then in the second column, I start writing the placement description, or a little bit with just a couple of words, what the placement is gonna be about. Then I start adding columns with the things that are mainly interesting to me. One of them was where the placement is gonna be placed, either if it's gonna be in the office or online, or do they have site visits available. Then what connections could I get from the placement, and lastly, how would the experience be seen in my CV for my future career. Those were the points that I've been following. I kept OECD at the first leading position. I have to admit here that I made a little bit of a compromise, as I really wanted to go work in an office and get that experience from an office. However, OECD did not have that option, but they did have the opportunity to do a site visit, which at the end we end up not doing, but that was because of time constraints. If you have the opportunity to do a site visit, just start planning it first. Even before starting your placement, maybe when you're doing your boot camp, that's the right time. But you're not gonna have time to plan it afterwards. 7 weeks is an extremely short period of time, and it passed away super fast. You don't notice, but you are in your middle of the interim presentation, and the only thing you can plan ahead is your final presentation. So please, if you have this opportunity, start planning it first. Chapter 2. aligning and collaborating with your team. Working with a team is like blending coffee with milk. Each bring a unique flavor. During my time at OECD, I discovered how the synergy of diverse talents transformed our projects. My team was formed by 4 people, all students from IPP, and we all wanted the same thing. We all blended so fast from the first day. We had the same targets, we had the same achievements, we wanted to begin as soon as possible, but we all have different personalities. We all have different experiences and different ways of working, which at the end it could be detected in our collaborative work. To dedicate a day each week to bond with your team and just share your honest feedback about each other and each other's work, what you think they could do better, what they think you could do better, and just have fun together outside the work. Keep in mind, this is just a placement. You are still a student and you have to prioritize your friendship with your team. Chapter 3. Unveiling my OECD experience. It was an experience of a lifetime, filled with insights, challenges, and remarkable growth. The primary aim during my placement was to develop a standardized format and systematic process for creating maps and diagrams that effectively illustrated various MOIP organizational structures. These diagrams were designed to empower policymakers and mission managers to visualize in a comprehensive and complex way their dynamics of their mission initiatives. My team and I, we started numerous meetings and tests with OECD partners, including Vinnova from Sweden and PMB from Spain. These interactions generated a diverse range of diagrams which served us as an inspirational and practical lessons for our workshop that we submit and conclude at the end of the project. Here I have to admit that we as a team were extremely lucky to have our mentor supports at all times, assisting us in all the discussions, giving their points of view, guiding us to be on track. That was a big help. And I want to give them a big shout out because if it wasn't for their support, we probably wouldn't be able to conclude this placement the way we did now. Know really well how to combine the needs of your placement organization and your duties as a student, because you are not gonna have time to do everything you want to or that the organization wants. Second, you are not doing a consulting for them, rather you are getting an experience from the organization and getting to know how it works. And third, you are still a student and you are not evaluated by how well you do on the placement itself, but rather on the projects, presentations, and reports you have to submit afterwards. Chapter 4. Crafting an outstanding placement report. This is the time when the MPA is coming to an end. You know that you are gonna write one of your last works and you're not gonna be a student anymore, or at least not for a couple of years now. And somehow you don't know what to write about. Well, at least that's what happened to me. I struggled a lot finding the topic that I want to write about. During my placement, I found really interesting to study a bit more the power of OECD in different countries. However, I was not convinced in the topic. I spent days, nights, and weeks narrowing and trying to find a new topic, reading, researching, until I found about cultural differences in the diverse membership countries of OECD. And I was kind of convinced that that would be my main focus of the report, so I started typing and writing and being super enthusiastic in this topic. However, many people that seen me day after day on my computer just writing and reading, one day came to ask me, "Hey, what are you doing there?" Obviously, I mean, when you're concentrated, it's not quite fun to be distracted and to have to explain to people what are you doing. But anyways, I tried to be as much as helpful to them. So I started to explain that I'm currently writing my thesis, my placement report, writing about missions, OECD, public value. But for them, that was a completely new world. I felt the need of creating comparisons so more people could understand it and act all together for a common mission. This was the trigger point where I was dedicated to creating my report in a dynamic and interactive way, as it could be more accessible by different public and be understood better by everyone. Going back to writing during the summer term, it's hard. From personal experiences. Start writing your report as soon as you finish your placement. No matter what are you gonna write about, just start typing something. It will definitely guide your thoughts to find a topic that you're gonna be interested and a topic that is gonna give you a good report, or at least something good that you can write about. I hope you found those tips useful. I kind of wish I could have a video like this when I start my placement so I could hear about another different people experiences or what they did. So kind of wish you are gonna be the first one to watch it and be somehow orientated by what is next, what to do next. Thank you for watching. Okay, now I guess people who are interested already left, so you're the one that are still here because I made you do it and you gotta watch it. And I wanted to tell you, I really hope you had fun the past 10 minutes, either for good or for bad. I wanted to say this is my first ever vlog created, and if you have any feedbacks or anything to tell me, I'm happy to do a second video with improvements, and your feedback is very valuable for me and for real. Like, I'm not saying that just to say it. I enjoyed making this vlog, so if you know how I can improve it, please just tell me. Bye. Which way do I go? This way. Bye.